So it is a big Transformer Tuesday today. Hasbro Pulse dropped a big Transformers fan stream that was pre-recorded but was dropped at 1 p.m. today, covering a whole bunch of brand new product going into 2025. Some stuff we've already talked about before, but now we have them in an official capacity. And the big thing about this stream is we get a whole bunch of new information about these products, as well as a big reveal at the end for some exciting Transformer stuff. Like always, we're going to cover it all here on the Transformer Slag podcast and keep you educated, entertained, and informed. And we're joined by Nate from marketing of the Transformer team. We get Mark Mayer for a hot minute just covering the Amazon 2-pack that we discussed yesterday. But the rest of it is Nate along with Evan from Hasbro Transformer Design. And also, by the way, Nate, nice t-shirt from Symbiote Studios. So let's get into it. The first one we're going to cover is the Studio Series. This is all going to be Studio Series with one or two items in exception, but this is the Studio Series Devastation Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. This is a Shusan design along with Evan, and the primary purpose of this is to be a Optimus Prime figure that's more in tune with the Transformers Devastation video game and to be scaled with something that could work with your Studio Series big old Devastator that we're going to be getting later this year. It works with every single trailer we've gotten up to this point in the modern era, even the Studio Series 86, so you could use your Studio Series 86 trailer with that if you want to. It has a Matrix of the Leadership in its chest. The chest opens up. The Matrix of Leadership isn't painted, but it does have the two little clips. It can come out, and you could hold it in the two sides of the fist, so we could hold it. Again, it's a limited budget item, but Shusan was able to squeeze the budget and at least put in a Matrix of Leadership to go along with the Energon axe. Very, very cool. Also, props to Nate for mentioning the combo attack from the Devastation video game. It's nice to see someone is a gamer of the Transformer games within the Hasbro team. That's some legitimacy right there. This one's going to be $24.99 and will ship out June 1st, 2025, and is available on Hasbro Pulse right now and their partners. Next up, we have a re-release or a repack, Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class G1 Movie Jazz. And it's just G1 Movie Jazz. It's the Utoku-san and John Warden design from all those years ago when Studio Series first launched. Only thing I can really mention here is Evan told a story about the number 14 on the side, and that's the first time I've heard that story, because John Warden mentioned a while back when this figure first came out that, yeah, okay, the number 4 on the side, it can't be used because the original Porsche GT with Martini, it had that license, and if you put the number 4 on it, that just solidifies it even more that it's trying to be that specific vehicle. But John said that, they designed that toy, that you put 14 on it, and then the fans afterwards could decide how they want to customize it, meaning you could scratch off the 1, and then you get the 4, and you could do whatever you want with that or cover it up with a sticker. Or alternatively, you scratch off the 4, and then you just have the 1, and the 1 was supposed to represent the number that he had on his G2 version. So nice little customization there if you wanted. So that's what John originally intended with that 14. So that's the story I've always heard. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but very cool. Otherwise, again, giving people another opportunity to pick that one up. It was very popular in its first wave. It was very popular in all its releases afterwards. It's been repainted quite a bit already at this point, and it's still going to be popular now. Brand new box and everything. $24.99. June 1st, 2025 is its release. They also tease that maybe one day we will get a Transformers 1 Jazz in the future. So nice little hope right there. We got the Studio Series Deluxe Class Wheeljack, or as they put it here, literally on the box in parentheses, Q. So they can't even really decide even then, is it Wheeljack? Is it Q? Maybe because they don't have a Q trademark, so you might as well just go with the Wheeljack trademark that you already have. Sure, why not? This is a Kuniharu-san design along with Evan. Comes with his Nagata spear and his blaster. Not much really I could say. It's a Nightmare Fuel looking figure with that weird face and everything, and the painted side hair, which you don't really see on a lot of Transformer figures. To me, it's just one of those toys. The original, when it came out in Dark of the Moon, became ridiculously hard to get because it wasn't available stateside, only in like Australia and Hong Kong. and became this really rare item, the original Deluxe, and people couldn't get it, and there was no way to have Q, aka Wheeljack, in your collection from Dark of the Moon. So years later, now we have an even better version, more screen accurate, and it's not going to bust the bank and everything, and it's within the Studio Series imprint for 2025. Also $24.99, June 1st, 2025. Check that out, yo. Now we get into the larger price points and also shifts with the release dates here for these. So we'll start with the Voyager class Studio Series War for Cybertron Ironhide. We covered this extensively already, so there's not too much new info here. Just that it was a Kuniharu design along with Evan. It's going to come with the EMP shotgun and the axe. And there's just plenty of little small tooling all over it just to make it just different enough from the Ratchet so that they do seem like two very different characters, despite the fact that they truly are just partials of each other. And Evan said that whenever we're going to get a Ratchet or an Ironhide, do expect one or the other to also come. He always is going to make sure that if we get an Ironhide, we'll get a Ratchet. If we get a Ratchet, we'll get an Ironhide. So he's always pushing for that. Those are some of his faves. $34.99, and these upper price points shipping out May 1st, 2025, so a month earlier for these ones here. Then we got the Leader Class Dark of the Moon Shockwave, which was a extremely rare and expensive figure that came out in 2019, and now they're giving people another opportunity to pick this one up again. Again, it's the awesome Shockwave simplistic transformation, comes with the minifigures of the Nest Paratrooper with the actual paratroop, along with the parachute, along with Wheelie and Brains. So nice little figures there. Do not lose those. They're very tiny. They're going to be wrapped up in little cloth in the tissue paper in the box there. And again, is going to be $54.99. No price increase going into 2025 for our Studio Series Leader classes here, which is good. And it's going to be May 1st, 2025 for this release. Nate mentions that they are paying attention to what figures go up in value drastically, and they do try to figure out places and slots that they could stick them in to give people another opportunity to pick them up. Hey, it doesn't cost them money in terms of tooling and design to re-release figures. It's just a matter of finding the spot in the factory to have it manufactured, and if people are willing to pay, they're willing to put it out there. You know, there's no point someone getting, triple, quadruple the value in the secondary market when Hasbro could get it for its MSRP right there. So check that out. And they said that also, it works out because Shockwave is coming into the 15th anniversary of Dark of the Moon. So it's a nice little coincidence there too. And then we have, this is a nice one here because we finally get a decent look at it. We have, after doing over 9 different Studio Series Optimus Prime toys, we're now at Studio Series Leader Class Age of Extinction Optimus Prime. Looking really good. It looks so much better than the photos that we saw at the MCM London Comic-Con. Those looked terrible. I almost felt like it was a reissue of the old Age of Extinction premium toy, which was not that great. So it comes with the sword and the shield and that unique like Age of Extinction look and shape. So that's really cool. The shield opens up to reveal a Gatling blaster. It has a smaller sword weapon as an extra on top of the big sword. All of it could be stored on his back to create that dynamic look from the movie. Also, all the weapons could be stored on the truck mode if needed. The truck also has compatibility with all the past modern trailers. So really, really cool. Dig how it looks. This one's actually pretty awesome. Very, very good. I'm very happy how it turned out because those early images didn't do it justice. Also, May 1st, 2025, it will be coming out, so a month earlier from the other stuff, and $54.99. And lastly, we got here the Trypticon. We already covered it in different shapes and forms. The only thing that they wanted to confirm here is the hips are indeed fixed from the original release. The original Trypticon American version had some issues with the assembly of the hips from the factory. Those hips were fixed with the Takara version from the Legends line that came afterwards, so this is probably more based on whatever was happening in the factories with the Legends Takara version. Does not have a sticker sheet, which is because it's all in-painted plastics here. And most of the clear plastic that was found on the original is now solid teals in general or painted over, except for some of those iconic clear orange places like, the face and everything. So, and it also confirms now we have a price here. He is going to be $200. So that's going to be the MSRP for this guy, even though he's a Titan. Titans are not so much really a indication of, let's say scale or anything or price. It really is. This Titan's going to be $200 because this is a Gen Selects item. The Star Optimus Prime is going to be $150 because that's an Age of Extinction item. It's kind of how it is, retail Age of Extinction item. And so it's going to be $200, but unfortunately, within the first 20 minutes, it already sold out. That's absolutely wild. It is available on other platforms, but at least on the Hasbro Pulse website, it did sell out within 20 minutes, which is, I guess it shows that there still is a demand for big $200 Titan class items, so maybe they could use that as an indication of what they could do in the future. This is planned to ship out June 1st, 2025, so check that out. And speaking of big, expensive items, the big reveal at the end of all of this is the next Haslab item will be revealed soon. Upcoming February 6th to the 9th is going to be the MegaCon Orlando in the Orange County Convention Center. And no doubt on the Saturday, February 7th, 2025, Hasbro is going to have a panel, and they're going to be doing the big reveal of the next Haslab item for the Transformers line, as well as the drop and start of that campaign for backing said item. What is that item? We don't know, but all we know is mark your calendar. That weekend in February, between the 6th and the 9th, is when that's going to happen. So stay tuned for that here on the Transformers Slag podcast, because we'll keep you updated on that too and break it down when it happens. That's it, more or less. There's other news to cover too, but we're going to kind of digest it and make sense of it all, and we'll definitely release it in the next couple hours or so, or even tomorrow. So stay tuned for that here on the podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you in the near future.